All right, we back at it. Homegrown Radio, Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head. We got a homegrown homie, a legend, and all that, man. We got the homie MURS returning to homegrown, man. How you feeling, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How y'all?
Blessed. I mean, can't complain. That this year's been obviously wild. I mean, we came out of it. We were just talking about this before, man. Anybody that's survived this shit, I mean, you got to just tip your hat to it. We were talking about your cousin Artistic, how the glow up for him has been, phenomenal. And I kind of want to start off on that tip, man. As far as 2020 for yourself, you've been through a lot of different shit, right? But how would you scale like the pandemic and being an artist and obviously the ups and downs with that? How does this rank within, life and career wise getting past this?
I will definitely answer that question, but first I know I said it on the internet. Congratulations to y'all, man.
Thank
Really
you, man.
deserving team and so much for the city. It shows that the powers that be, they get demonized a lot and do fuck up a lot. They do get it right sometimes. And with y'all, they got it so motherfucking right. Not a duo and I say a team because I know there's more than just you and Head, Chuck. There is the homegrown family getting this promotion, and I know it's not gonna stop there. I look forward to my kids being annoyed when I'm driving them to school. And why we always gotta listen to Head and Dizzle in the morning? Shut the fuck up.
Oh shit. I mean, thank you, bro. Appreciate that for real.
That means a lot.
And it's gonna happen one more time when I see y'all in person. That's what I mean. This is
it's stages, man.
Stages of my celebrating y'all's success.
Appreciate you.
Yeah, and back to the question, yeah, man, it's been crazy, bro. Your parents will tell you, save up for a rainy day. You gotta have 3 months saved up if you wanna blah blah blah. Now I'm like, my nigga, what about 20 months? Yeah. I lost my whole entire job. I've been on a job for 27 years, and I was fortunate not to have hit my skid. There's gonna be a point where live shows aren't an option for me when people don't want to see my old ass rap. And I didn't even get a chance to get to that point. It just whoop,
forced into it.
So it's it's a time where shows ain't coming in. You gotta think, all right, am I gonna drive an Uber or what am I gonna transition to? I didn't even get a chance to get to that point. But luckily I had a Patreon and I've been on Twitch for like 5 years already. So I was already ready for that leap. And my family, came through in the clutch and supported me, monetarily and just like watching the kids so I could go do random odd things that I had to do. And so yeah, we made it.
I think what's interesting too is you kind of was ahead of the curve. Like, I mean, you and shout out to Artistic and a couple of other people were like ahead of the curve in the sense of digitizing their life, so to speak, right? Like, you always been the person, like, even when you would announce like lineups on shows that you would throw, you would do it online. And I remember like sitting there watching in real time with everybody else, like, oh shit, he picked, this person, like, oh shit, like he added so-and-so to the show. And I think that's something, that you should definitely be. I think that's something that people should know about you is, you didn't just go digital when you had to.
Yeah, no, man. I try to stay abreast of or I guess I don't know the way to say it. I try to stay on point of new technology, man, because it's part of your job as a rapper. I tell young rappers now too, like, being in tune with social media or apps or technology is part of your job now. You can't not be a part of it. You know what I mean? It's gonna help you. It's gonna be advantageous to be the first.
My bad, I didn't mean to cut you off. No, I just remember when we was talking about the streaming live. I remember that Ustream. I was in the apartment. I think we had just got off of Homegrown. We were either about to start screaming or finish the stream or whatever. But I remember the announcement. I believe it was paid dues. It was it was Nipsey. It was Curtis King and Noah James. Yeah, man. And them just that. Just knowing that for one, supporting the homies, obviously being ahead of the curve on that. But like you said, just doing it in that sense of, that Ustream was kind of new at that time, but just kind of jumping on the technology at that point to make announcements and, push what you had going on back then.
Yeah, that was a blessing. That was a special one. And since this is family, like, you know, like I know people, it's not a clout thing for me, but you know, and I've said this to certain individuals, but Nipsey doing that was part of Nip being who he was. And he was one of the first artists, the second artist technically to cancel at paid dues. I had booked him for a year, and I had gone down to, like, me and Terrace shot, I don't know if no one knows that album, but me and Terrace did an album together before I was a deal and Terrace was a deal. If I came out with it, that makes me, I'm gonna just speak that piece too, because we're family. I was really hurt when me and Terrace did an album and nobody gave a fuck. But if I said I had an album produced by Terrace Martin now, it means something totally different.
Crazy.
Totally different. But that's still, except for my new album, but for years it's been my favorite album I've done. You know, just fun. And it was an era. But around that time, Terrace took me down there. We shot a video for our first single, Fresh Kicks. And we shot it at the t-shirt store before, when it was just Slauson Tees or whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then around that time I had to go back to the store to book Nipsey for paid dues. And I just, you know, I always talk to people I know who are really, you know, really about what they say about, like, look, it's not that kind of party. It's a lot of white kids and like weed. It's outdoors. You don't, you know, I'm like, who's coming with you? I want to shake everybody's hand and like, look, man, I'm promise you, I ain't gonna have no rivals. You know, I'm not gonna put you in a position where you have to defend yourself or be on edge. This is a day we're gonna come out and have fun. Now, oh, cool, homie. You know, they see who I am, they see the dress sticking, they're like, okay, this is weird, cuz like he's gonna, you know what I mean? This is the kind of vibe. And so then I did all that, and then they had a flight cancel or something the day of, you know. But I wanted to see him perform, you know what I mean? Like Hustle in the House, like I was waiting to see that live, you know what I mean? Right. And also to show my partner that he had fans, because I was in the process of bringing in so many more people that look like us from our area to pay dues. That's why I started pay dues, to get us, you know, because we weren't East Coast rappers, we weren't legacy acts, but there were people that needed to be on stage. All that to say is, I remember when Earls was still on Exposition in Crenshaw at the Chili Bowl. Mm-hmm. And I got a text because we announced the date of pay dues. We just announced the date. And Nip hit me and said, yo, I owe you a show. Wow. I didn't have to reach out. He said, just pay $1,500 and I'm there for free, bro. I owe you. He DM'd me on Twitter instantly. As soon as he saw I went up for sale, I want to do it and it no cost to you, bro. I owe you one.
Wow.
And go ahead.
When Nipsey DM'd you, did you look at it like, damn, I really fuck with this dude? Or do you look at it like, yeah, he do owe me a show?
No, I was like, I never, in years of paid dues, I learned not to take nothing personal. You know what I mean? And especially it was a fucked up flight. You know what I mean? You know, and Terrace reminded me that day I was hot. You know what I'm saying? Not at him, just at the situation. Because he was one of those acts. Like, you know, when you say, oh, I haven't Nipsey Hussle before, my partner was like, well, you know, and you know, I was in paid dues having meetings with the PD. And so certain names, oh yeah, you got to have 2 extra officers. Oh yeah, you got to, you know what I mean? So that name comes up and I'm having to pay for more security. That's not Nip's problem. I don't care. I'll take that. Because all I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that we didn't need that.
Yeah.
You know? And so when he didn't show up, it was more like, I've been building to this as a fan and as a promoter, but it was nothing against him. But I was hot. I was like, just, you know, it's one of those things. And then for him to do that, yeah, far from that. I was like, man, because, you know, he had, between that year, and that's how it was with Pay Dues, especially with the Coast, between that year, Nipsey had jumped another, you know,
right. Yeah,
you could have hit me up and be like, I'll do it, but you know, my feet like double what it was last year.
It wasn't the same when you tried to reach out before.
Yeah. So when did he ever make good on that? Did y'all ever did he ever?
That's why he did the stream with Curtis and them. Yeah. Not only he's like, I'm gonna do it for free, but I'm gonna be involved in anything you need me, homie. Like, I'm gonna promote this. I couldn't have got an act of that caliber to go and do a Ustream with anyone, you know what I mean? But with Curtis King, not the disrespect, but Curtis wasn't who he was at that point. Noah wasn't who he was at that point. These are underground rappers, and Nip just like, yeah, I'm gonna show up.
When you put together,
that falls into the line of extra promo too. It's not even just being on stage. It's like you're doing the announcement at that point in time, no matter who it is. That's an extra fee for all of those things that you're talking about. So I see what you mean.
When you put together a lineup like that, and And do you know going in, like, this is finna be some shit? Or do you like think to yourself, like, man, I want to do something that nobody else is doing?
Man, like this is gonna be some shit, like it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah, like this is gonna be some monumental shit. Or do you think to yourself, was your intent to do a show that I'm gonna do the biggest show I can with the resources available? Or do you do a show like, I'm gonna book Nipsey, I'm gonna book Curtis, I'm gonna do something that nobody else is doing?
I think it's more that, like, naturally I go what nobody else is doing. I always do the show that I wanted to see, and I never got to see it because I really am a fan of Nip, but at the same time, I really am a fan of I don't even know, whatever backpack shit, yeah. Freestyle Fellowship. You know what I mean? I'm really in both worlds. So I just try to, and I wanted to give the fans what they want. I'm like, what would people want to see? But yeah, I guess I had to be honest, it's a bit all of it, because there's a part of me that's a businessman. I was like, yeah, with this budget, I want to do this and this. But it was also, for me, it was all on the fact that, one, I went to Vans Warped Tour, and it was a summer. It changed my life, saved my life. It was hot in my neighborhood that summer, and Slug from Atmosphere said, you want to come be my hype man? I didn't get booked. Vans Warped Tour does not fuck with black rappers. Sorry, Kevin Lyman, I love you, but we have whole stage with white rappers. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't get booked. I want to make that clear, that I didn't get booked as a rapper. My homeboy from Minneapolis said, you want to go do this? And I was like, man, I've been on road with you for 200 dates this year. I'm going to go, yeah, I'm going to take this too. And my neighborhood was hot. And I was like, yeah, I got to get out of here anyway.
I always wanted to ask you, where'd you get the inspiration to do paid dues? Because now festivals is a thing. Like, there's so many festivals that we can't even keep track of all this shit, right? But I remember when paid dues was the thing. Like, that's what you wanted to be on out here, especially if you from this side of the map. And then along came, like, I don't know. Now, I don't know the order. I'm just telling you, I'm young. I was younger then, so I didn't know as much as I know now. But I felt like paid dues pioneered the way for a lot of other festivals to arise. I didn't know about Rock the Bells. Like, I didn't know about that shit. Yeah. All I knew about was like white people shit, like, Woodstock, the Warped Tour, shit like that. I didn't know like black people can have a festival. You know what I'm saying? Until paid dues, to be perfectly honest with you. So where'd you draw from? And then also, how do you feel about the spawn of the festival now?
Man, it was Warped Tour for me. I was out there, we did it, and then I went after the show. Everybody's buses circled up, and Sum 41, I don't know if y'all remember that band.
Yeah. Band. I still listen to them right now.
They were out there pouring people shots, collecting tips for cancer research. And the other dudes, Pennywise, who are OG punk band from out here, these are famous people making barbecue and giving it out to people for free. And everybody was just kicking it. And I said, man, we could do this, man. Like, we could do something for us that's just like, I know we can kick it peacefully. Like, I know the press doesn't believe it, and a lot of festival venues were still like, oh, it's a rap show, the insurance is going to be higher.
I mean, let's be honest, man. Summer Jam didn't help that. I mean, we loved it, but it was some bullshit that happened. We know what happened.
Yeah, I never went. Even as an adolescent, I refused to be a convalescent. That Tupac line, that wasn't me. Yeah, I will convalesce my ass right at home. And that's another reason I started paid dues, because I used to go to Smokeout. I used to go where the Mexican girls would be and bring my homies to that, because we ain't gonna see no enemies. The black and brown stuff wasn't that heavy back then. Like, if it's just 3 or 4 of us, we could just slide up in there. The import, import whatever weekends or whatever with the
for the cars, right?
Car shows. I went to a couple Smokeouts, and that was B Real's festival.
Yeah.
So subconsciously that was there too. Like, oh, a rapper could do this. And my partner that did Rock the Bells did those too. So we would go out to things like that. But Summer Jam, I'm good, bro. I'm so good. I wouldn't, and plus I wasn't into that music. Right. But at Warped Tour, what I also saw was white moms with minivans pull up and just let their kids out like it was Disneyland. Wow. And I was like, they are ensuring that this culture and this music gets to the young people.
Wow. Yeah.
And if you're a young parent, you're not gonna let your kid, if you're a involved parent, if you're not overworking or out of the picture, you're not pull up and let 13-year-olds out at Summer Jam. Plus, that's their music. Like, that's the mainstream music. I was like, for underground, we're not ensuring, like, okay, say you go back to 8th grade, 7th grade, and, oh man, I saw 50 Cent this summer. I saw this, whoever was, I saw Bow Wow, I saw this. That's cool. But when niggas, I saw MURS, I saw this, I saw that. Like, where are the kids that want to go to school and say they saw that? So I said, I got to do for us as artists to kick it, and for us to have generations of this involved. And that's why, like, towards the end, like when it was really popping for me, it was like having Dipset, Wu-Tang, Odd Future. You know what I mean? Where I have still people come to me like, my dad took me to that show because he wanted to see Wu-Tang and I wanted to see Tyler. And I was like, this is what I wanted to like keep this. And and at the end it was, parents would just drop their kids off and pay dues. And seeing this, like a bunch of 16-year-olds or 15-year-olds being able to run around and, you know, there's weed smoke, but nothing dangerous. You know what I mean? That's the most dangerous thing, is that someone's smoking a joint in the crowd. That's it. You know what I mean?
That's it. Yeah.
They come home with some merch, some CDs, some stickers, saw some ciphers, you know, they get to experience hip hop in a safe environment. Because by that time, we had 4 or 5 years. And for Black people to see that, but backstage, it was like, cool, I get to see Nip, I get to see Q, I get to see R.A. the Rugged Man, Cage, like all my home, Sean Price, God love him, you know what I'm saying? And that's the one thing people ask me, are you gonna do pay dues? Do you miss it? Never. But I do, that's the one thing I miss, is seeing the homies.
Has there ever been a time when you were doing these festivals that you didn't put somebody on the show because of personal issues?
No. There's a rapper, nobody that listens to this show probably know, called Sage Francis. I do not like him. I had threatened to beat him up or fight. I don't say beat him up because he could have won. I threatened to fight him on several occasions. You know what I'm saying? But I knew he had fans, and I knew his live show was dope. He's a dope spoken word performer. He's ill in his live performance. He throws broccoli and niggas wild. You know what I'm saying? I just personally don't like him. But I broke him off $7,500 to perform.
Wow.
Because I knew he was worth tickets.
Now that the reason why I asked you that is because I noticed that I've never heard anything about you, any bias. I've never heard any story about, oh, MURS, you know, did this, or he was funny with the money, or he didn't pay me on time. I've never heard none of those stories ever. And so that's why it made me think about that question. And then also, that's a testament to who you are as a businessman. Like, because I felt like, and I just had this conversation. The reason why I brought it up is because I remember talking about how Eminem was such a, like, you know how we just had the City Girls on the show, and they were talking about how men get judged for their rap differently than women do. And I always thought to myself, well, me and my homies have these conversations internally, like the white people that control things, the quote unquote people in charge, they don't give a fuck what you're talking about or who you talking about. You could be calling, you could put out a record called Cracker Ass Cracker. And if that motherfucker is streaming, and they gonna promote the shit out of it, and they gonna get their money, and they gonna go home in their Tesla. You know what I'm saying? So like, on some real shit. So that's why, and that's why I want to commend you for that, because I feel like in our community we got too much pride, and the pride gets in the way of the business.
Yeah, man, I left all that. I always tell people too, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm from my neighborhood. I'm not from that neighborhood, but I lived in the neighborhood. If I was gonna die for anything or fight anybody, it would have been over that, over my homeboys, where my mama stay, where my grandma stay. That's what all the rest of this stuff is work, bro. And I have booked artists I don't like, and I have told my partner, who was a businessman, I said, keep this room open. This is a literal, you know, not to be a tough guy. And I was like, when he gets here, I'm going to have him in that room, and we'll have that discussion after he gets paid.
Wow.
Because we have some issues as men. And I just came up to, I was like, look, man, I was like, there's that room. I was like, I heard you said woo, 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 woo. What is it gonna be? I've had a few rap conversations, or not rap, man conversations, like, you know, straight up, my nigga, like, what is it? And I was like, cool, if you don't want to go in that room, look, security's gonna be out there. They're gonna lock the doors, me and you. And we come out, we done with this. And if you don't want to do that, then I don't want to hear my name come out your mouth ever again. Because I'm not fucking with your money, bro. I'm obviously having you here, paying you today. So what is your problem with me? You know, I don't like you. I don't like your music. That's cool. You don't like my music. You don't like me. That's cool. But when you badmouth me and I'm going to pay you anyway, that's some real shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to live in a world where niggas cannot like each other, and we don't have to fight about it. Because me beating you up or you beat me up ain't going to make me like you. Or like your music.
Has there been anybody that's accepted the challenge for the hands? Like, you know what? Yeah. Let's turn the lights on. Let's do what we got to do. 15 minutes.
Never. And you
know what though? I don't know if I would fuck with you either, though. A nigga that paid me damn near 10 racks and then be like, yeah, so let's step in the room. Like, you gonna pay me and fight me?
You ain't got shit to lose.
I don't want no problem, bro. I don't want no issues with you, bro. You a different type of nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I try to be honorable, bro. I'm like, bro, like.
No, I know that. That's what I'm saying. It's too much honor. Like, it's like you way too genuine for me to be fighting you, bro. I fucking with you.
Man, I like to just keep it. You know, I've had some people like post on Facebook, and I call their manager, and their manager's like, it would take a long time for me to call everybody, but most artists, especially if you're from our city, I would call you to give you the idea. Yo, I'm gonna put you on. Just give me. I'm gonna do it the right way. Unless you were like, nah, just go straight through me. I'd be like, I just want to let you know personally, artist, my team's gonna reach out to your team. We'll handle the specifics. This is the number we throwing at you. If you don't like it, argue with them about it, and I'll try to get it to where we agree. But I just want to say thank you, and I hope you appreciate it, blah, blah, blah. And I did that, and I called somebody manager, and they're like, hey, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you. Don't do it. Don't book him. I was like, why? He just posted fuck paid dudes 2 days ago on Facebook. I said,
yo, that'd be the biggest thing, dog.
And I said, all right,
get in their own way.
Yeah, and I called my mama. I called because when I really I was about to lose it on some street shit. I was like, oh, this nigga, because there's another nigga. Because I be outside, bro. I just seen him walk into my car from Earl's. I love our food. I love support Black business. I was walking out things like, hey, nigga, what's up with blah 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 blah. I said, I got you, bro. I know blah blah blah. I'm gonna put you on. Don't worry, I got you. Okay then. You know. Then we had another meet. I said, come meet me, bro. He kept talking. I said, come meet me. Yeah. We didn't have no problem. I said, I'm going to get you. So I guess he saw the pre-announcement and got fuck paid dudes. I said, all right, bro, I was about to call you. So and then I called my mom and she said, don't let what you were going to do for someone be stopped by what they did to you. Always do what's in your heart. Don't let what they do to you.
I gotta write that.
Say that one more time, man. That's going to be a caption right there.
Don't let what you were going to do for someone be stopped by what they did when they do something to you. Something of that nature. I gotta ask my mom.
I got it. Nah,
she came down from the mountains with that, and I said, okay. She said, do what's in your heart, son, basically. You know what I mean? And I called him. I was like, bro, you and then they clicked with me as she started. Actually, I did what my mama said, which usually does. I'm not gonna look stupid having to post the flyer because now he's gonna post, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And this could have been somebody definitely, you know, way more in the streets than me, could have beat me up. You know what I mean? I would have got knocked out, shot some, probably over saying something stupid to him, which was the right thing to do, is just show love to my brother. Because in the end, all he wanted to do was be on it and want me to keep my word. And he thought that I didn't keep my word. And if I thought I didn't keep my word, I would have reacted the same way.
Got it.
So that's what my mom, you know, I was like, yeah, bro, I just got to you late. And it turned out to be a beautiful moment. And it's somebody I still honor and respect, and I'm glad I didn't make him have to do something stupid to me over that, you know.
Facts.
And so yeah, but like it was all kind of politics, bro. But that's why I just stayed on I just been who I always been, bro. I'm outside all the time. I don't want no ignorance. I'm not about no ignorance. And I hope that I think we all benefited from paid dues, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think it lifted the culture forward. It did something for Los Angeles. It did a lot for hip hop. I mean, there's not, like you said, I'm sure you get all the time that people want, just the nostalgia of it. People just want it to come back. And obviously you're not in the space to even think about or do that anymore. But is it part of that reason? Is it because like you're just so far past it at this point in time? Because like you said, there was a little moment where you saw, you know, where it was going to be and what it was going to do. And is there still a little bit of in you that says, okay, maybe we can probably rekindle that? Or is it like done for those obvious reasons?
I think it's done. Just rappers are very entitled. We are very entitled. Some of the most entitled, ungrateful people on the planet. And I say we, I'm not going to elevate myself above my colleagues or my contemporaries. We are horrible people to deal with. And I would look at my partner every year as like, man, we would deal with the worst people, worst. And I was like, I can't do it. So it wasn't me, you know, things got messed up financially due no fault of my own. We had the most successful year ever and the money got fucked off. And I was like, this is God. Because 2 years before that, by year 7 or 6, I was done with it. I was done. I walked. I usually walk in the mornings and walk the grounds, meet the security guard and security guard staff and everybody and the vendors and shake everybody's hand. People building the stage. I just didn't feel it. I was like, and the last year too, like I had to get Big Phil to come do security for me just because I had my babies. I was like, man, I can't even walk my babies. Usually, like there are people here who don't know me and don't know who I am. You know what I mean? And I feel uncomfortable like walking around holding my kid. Like I got, I was just like.
But I'm saying, but why not? Why not? And again, I'm not pressing it for those reasons. But you're right. Rappers are entitled. You guys are entitled. But wouldn't it be the rapper to be the one to continue this legacy and make it go on, right? And let's just say you assume a different role. Where you're not in it to the point where you don't have that love for it, but maybe somebody else can handle the business, or I don't know. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I tried that, but everyone early on, I tried that. I said, take my name off of it and I'll do it.
And what do you mean take your name off of it?
Like don't put MURS Presents up there. You know what I mean? Put Gorilla Union up there or put whatever your company is up there and I'll pick the list. I was like, don't even pay me because I just know who deserves it. Like, no, you got to host it. I said, give it to Soul. I said, give it Ab Soul. Let him host it.
Wow.
He's a big enough name for y'all. And let him put his name on it. Let him put his input. I'll subsidize it where I think the bill needs a little shaping up and let him do it. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he's someone who loves the culture and loves the coast like I do. You know what I mean? And more than the coast, because they had grown past that. Yeah. Like when I was at the Merriweather Pavilion in Maryland doing paid dues, doing Rock the Bells, a white boy came up to me. I'm sorry to say it like that if that's offensive. I don't know in this era. This white kid came up to me and said, hey man, I'm a big fan. Here's my mixtape. My name's Mac Miller. I want to do paid dues one day. I said, this is a kid from Pittsburgh, bro. Pittsburgh.
Wait. Run that back.
Young white kid. I just finished talking to Wale. Before MMG, me and Wale talking like, what do niggas like us do? He's like, man, I'm a kind of out of Def Jam. I don't know what I'm about to do next, man. Like you, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, man, I don't know. Like what's the, for half a conscious ass rapper, not all the way conscious, still kind of hood niggas. Like, where do we go? Kind of conversation. At least that was the vibe. I don't want to put nothing on Wale. He don't want nothing out there. But I was, and then I just finished my cousin, my female cousin from Baltimore, she had talked to KRS-One and they were arguing about conspiracy theory, yelling in the parking lot. I'm like, why my cousin, you get your family back? I'm like, why are you back here yelling? We friends. I'm like, all right. And then I turned around and this kid I guess he had been waiting to talk to me. It was like, hey man, I don't want to bother you. I'm a big fan. Here's my mixtape. I would really like to do paid dues one day. My name is Mac Miller. And I looked down, I saw it. I love the movie Kids and I was like, okay. And I probably 9 times out of 10, I would have never listened to it. But me and my ex-wife were in traffic. And if you know anything, DC traffic just beat out LA traffic as the worst traffic in America. I was like, fuck it. Put that shit in. And I looked at her 3 songs in. I was like, oh, this is the one. I was like,
what year was this?
Oh, man, I got to look at the bills. I don't know. It would have to be somewhere around 2010, 2011.
Now, what year did you realize, like, oh, this is that kid? Oh, like when did you?
I never stopped keeping in touch with him.
You became a fan at that point.
Yeah, I go on, follow on Twitter, Bob up, same,
Do you remember what the project was called that he gave you?
Kids. His mixtape, first mixtape. Wow. Not his first. I don't know what his first. Kids, and then he came out Blue Slide Park after that, I think.
So when you first listened to the Mac Miller mixtape, did you know like what he was gonna become, or did you know that it was just something you wanted to keep in touch with?
I knew he was. I looked at my ex-wife. I was like, oh, this is one. He's one of them ones.
Wow.
First time, like and it's I hate to bring up his name so much, but first time, like, and probably for you too, like when a kid came to me like, send me a MySpace message, like I'm K-Dot from Compton. I met you with J-Rock at Warner Brothers. I just want to send you some of my music. I said, who told you could rap like that, bro? From Compton, I never, what? And at that point, I was like, what do you want me to do with it? Like, what am I supposed? I was like, you're great, bro. Go find Dre. That's what I said. Like, go find Dre, bro, because this is where you need to go. Like, you were out of here. That? I told him that after we did a feature one time. I told him, I was like, man, when Dre find you, bro, This is what he been waiting. Cause you know, Dre don't move till he get the next thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I've always been self-aware or maybe self-depreciating, deprecating or whatever. But I'm like, I'm good. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not, like I said, I don't let nothing get away of the truth, bro. I try not to. You are excellent, my nigga. Like you are, bro. With me handling you is like giving, you know, fine sauce to nigga at McDonald's. I ain't gonna do what you need to do, bro. But yeah, you right. You know, like, it's kind of like when someone, and it's the humility of when you're starting out, someone who doesn't know what they have or knows what they have, but is not being a dickhead about it. I don't say be a dickhead about it. I get it. Like Big Sean is an artist that's always been aware of who he is, as far as I've known. He was opening for us on my stage at Pay Dues. That nigga came in, did his interview, didn't talk to nobody. I'm out of here. You know, he knew where he was, and I wasn't mad. I was like, you know, because you can see it. I can see in him too. When
you said Big Sean would open for y'all on Paid Dues, and do you remember what year that was?
Man, it was Rock the Bells, New York, when Snoop was performing. I'll never forget.
Go ahead.
No, because my partner, my business partner, came to the Pay Dues stage. You know, we way in the back, in the middle of my set, said, "Hey, come here." I was like, "I'm rapping," but he's my business partner, so I'm like, "It's a big problem." So what's up? I know your wife, my ex-wife, but she's in the trailer. Do you think you could just tell her to leave so we can give your trailer to Beyonce and Jay-Z? They're flying in to see Tribe and Wu-Tang. I was like,
what?
Nigga, did not you interrupt my show?
You kicking my wife out for Beyonce and Jay-Z?
So like, wait. You were literally performing,
my nigga, performing.
And they came to you and was like, "Hey, we need your trailer for Hov and B."
Yeah.
Hey,
fuck what you got going on right now. Look, I know you in the middle of your set.
Cut the sound. Cut the sound off. I need this nigga's attention.
You need to hear this.
On my own stage. It's the Pay Dues stage, bro. Me and Ninth Wonder. It's not just me. It's me and Ninth Wonder, bro.
Yo, have you ever told Jay-Z this story?
I never met Jay-Z, man.
Bro, man. This is epic.
Keep that tuck.
Like, yeah. No, it's out now. We letting this go. But I'm just saying that is an epic story. Okay, let me ask you this. How did you feel? Did you understand? Okay, look, because you say you try not to let nothing get in the way of the truth, MURS. Hold on. You say you try not to let nothing get in the way of the truth. Even though you mad, you hot that they stopped your show to give your trailer away that your wife is in to the Hov and B, on some level, did you understand the urgency?
I understood the way. I was like, do it.
Hey, give her 5 minutes, get her stuff, man.
Do you go to your wife and be like, "Bitch, if you don't get the fuck up," what?
I think I might say, "Can we get a picture or something?" Like, you know?
I mean, what's the bartering system over here, man? I mean,
yeah, man. Like, you know, Jay-Z's like, you know, top. In my top 5, depending on the day, my top 10 forever. You know, like changing my life is music. Like, of course, like for sure.
So look, let me ask you this: if Hov would have asked you, if Hov would have came to you personally, like say you on stage, you just the sound go off, and you see Hov standing on the side of the stage, and he like, right? Be like, "Hey, my nigga, you going to get your wife out of my trailer." Would you still understand?
Nah, at that point, I'm not understanding.
A whole about to take 5 minutes in that side room.
Like, like she can't talk about feminine products with me for a second till I finish my show. Like, you know, she can have girl talk just for a little bit. Makeup, mascara, Maybelline, something.
Oh my God.
That's epic ass story.
Oh man, bro.
So I definitely want to get into the music, man, because you got this project out, man. Love and Rockets Volume 2 with DJ Fresh. Now, obviously, if people aren't familiar, Volume 1 was 2011 with DJ Ski Beats.
Speaking of Hov,
and you mentioned, you know, obviously doing collaborations. You did an album with Terrace. I mean, talk about this. You're no stranger to doing collaboration albums, and I obviously picking somebody to kind of do, you know, the whole beats and all that, man. So I want you to take this opportunity to talk about this project that you got out right now.
DJ Fresh is, you know, if you don't know Fresh, he's from the Bay. He done for everybody in the Bay. He also has Tonight Show with Freddie Gibbs, Raekwon, Currency. you know what I mean? I think he's someone's been in the game for a long ride, but like me, it's just been a slow rise. And I think he's rising while I'm maybe in plateauing, who knows? But he is a talented dude, but he's been DJ for Living Legends. But Fresh is a nigga. And that's what he always says to me, like, what niggas don't know about you, Murs, you a nigga. You a nigga. But niggas don't know that, Murs. You need to let me do something for you. I'm like, nigga, what I need your beats for? I got Knife Wonder beats, you know? Back when he was younger. I'm like, nah, man. He's like, Murs, no, just me, not right now. Just me, not right now, Murs. I'm like, all right. Then finally, we were both on tour with Grouch. Me and Grouch put out and called These Hands, and he was the DJ. And we just such outsiders in our own club. I was describing this to my cousin the other day. It was like, I guess, or no, my homie Shaman, shout out to him. He was we were at moving my homie, and he was like, man, I haven't seen him in years. I got out of the corporate world. I can't be around white people. And I was like, yeah, I feel like I've been for years. You always shrink yourself. Like, but some black people, you gotta shrink yourself to be in white corporate America. If you blow up, you being a nigga. If you do this, you doing that. If you do, you know, so you like end up walking on eggshells. And I'm like, not no more. You know, I'm a, you know, give more grace to people who look like me and less grace to the white people in power. You know what I mean? I'm gonna give more grace to niggas to fuck up, more grace to niggas to look at me crazy. Like, I'm gonna be more understanding with them. The same shit that I extend to the police or TSA or whoever, I'm taking that back and giving it to us. That's how I feel. And so Fresh understood what it's like when I go out and rap and it's a crowd full of white people every night. And for me, that's not my life. Some of my contemporary people who are in this space are, you know, they live in a white neighborhood. They live wherever, you know. I live off Crenshaw and Imperial. You know what I mean? Like, I'm around us every day. My kid rides his bike to Brawley Hut to get zucchini sticks, and then we walk home. You know what I mean? Like, I go to Haroon and Lamert Park. I try not to leave this area.
Yeah.
And so I wasn't like, for a while, I was living in Tucson. I was living a rap life. I come in, do my shows, but now it just felt, and Fresh understands that feeling. Because Fresh will go from doing a show with MURS and the Grouch and Living Legends and all the Backpack fans, and then go straight into the studio with Mozzie or you know, Neff DeFaro or something, you know? Yeah. So he knows what it's like. And I was like, man, let's just, after the show, let's have some whiskey and beer and just do it. And I felt like this is the first time I was just being me on the record. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of being you, what's your issue with blue cheese and ranch, bro? Because like, I was listening to I'm a Vegan.
Yeah.
Is I'm a Vegan? That's the name of
it.
Right?
That's the
so I'm listening to that shit, and he's like, you know, I don't eat ranch, I don't eat blue cheese, I don't eat ranch. And I'm like, why? Like, are you really you're vegan for real?
Yeah, man. Fuck blue cheese, fuck ranch.
Nah, bro.
But Blueface is good, bro.
Nah, bro.
Blueface, shout out to him.
I could go without blue cheese, except the blue cheese crumbles. You know what I'm saying? I love the blue.
There is a difference. There is a difference.
It's a difference, bro.
You know what? Niggas don't point that out enough. There is a difference between blue cheese liquid, because that shit is nasty. Blue cheese crumbles used to be fire. I'm not gonna
fire.
It's different.
Now listen.
It's different. It's like feta plus. Feta's right, but blue cheese is like feta with a little crack. Like what's
going on here?
It's the deluxe. It's the deluxe version of feta cheese.
Yeah, the deluxe LP.
Yeah, bro.
With the Eminem feature.
West Coast. So look, my thing is, okay, you a vegan. Are you one of those vegans who shame people? Nah. Like, because I've been, you know, I've been to a couple of restaurants in my day, and there's people there who happen to be vegan. I used to talk to a girl who was vegan, and the look on their face when you bite into a chicken wing, bro, is like you would swear I was fucking with a minor or something in public. Like, the looks on their face. No, I'm saying the looks on their face is just so much shame and disdain, and like, how could you bite into that chicken leg like that? It's like it's chicken, bro. Like,
yeah, no, I've been on it for a while. I've been on it since 93 since I stopped eating beef. So I've been on it for a while.
Really?
Yeah, I've been on it off and on, vegetarian, vegan for decades. And it's funny because Peter used to come to my show. They're rapper that's, you know, they used to try to get me to say animal rights. And I'm like, look here, my nigga. I was like, my homie got shot in the back of the head. Like, this is like fresh when it happened. I was like, my people don't have rights. I ain't about to worry about no rights to the animal. It's good for the environment. It's good for my body. But as far as animal rights, I ain't about to get on here with y'all white folks and talk about animal rights.
Yeah.
We're like, we got like, this is, you know,
There's
like
a lot of real stuff going on.
It's 06, 07, like, you know, not that it's any different, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But it's pre-BLM where they weren't used to hearing that from. Like, I'm not about to get on your platform and talk about animal rights. I care, but I can't care that much because my people were like locked up. I got homies that's doing 18 years.
What prompted the decision to go vegan, vegetarian, etc.?
Man, there's one story in particular about Elvis dying with like 70 pounds of beef in his colon or something crazy. It's an urban myth. But then I started looking into it and I was like, oh yeah, like it takes a long time. It takes 7 years for your body to break down ground beef.
7 years?
7 years.
Yeah, I heard that too.
That's a fact?
Facts is, you know,
right.
It takes these days, time. It takes a while. It takes a while.
That Big Mac that you had, you know, early 2000s, it's probably still bubbling up in there.
And and partially too because McDonald's used fucked up beef.
Right.
So when I was 16, speaking of Big Mac, I went into McDonald's in by the Culver City Courthouse or Center, whatever, off Santa Monica because we were skating. I went in there and ordered a Big Mac. It's like, this is my last one. I ain't had beef since that day.
Damn.
And, chicken was soon after that, and like chicken's been in and out over the years, but I haven't had beef, pork, fish, or nothing since 93.
No fish?
I stopped fish when I was like 11, 12. I stopped pork when I was 11, 12.
Why fish?
I just got tired. I just got tired of the taste, honestly, of fish. My grandparents.
So what do you eat, bro? Like,
oh man,
you go to Petco and get a bale of hay, or like what the fuck? The fuck do you
man, we got all kind of homies. We got Jackfruit Cafe. Shout out to her, the woman that played Felicia in Friday. She has a vegan thing. It's Smack. Vegan Mob up in the Bay. My homie Darrell with Lamel Durrell and Lamel and Compton Vegan Smack. That shit.
I feel like there's a lot of. I feel like if there's any time to be a vegan, today is the time because there's so many options out there for you to try. I went without eating meat for 2 months. I mean, I wasn't that long, but that the first couple of weeks was just like, you know, well, first week was like struggle, but after that, it's just finding the options. That's all it is.
If you want to eat options, if you want to eat junk food, like I just came from Carson getting my kids vegan donuts. It's still trash. It's still sugar. You know what I mean? I got my new line is being rich don't make you wealthy and being vegan don't make you healthy. That's, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a junk food you can get an Impossible Burger at Carl's Jr. Burger King in a drive-thru. You know,
wait, so wait, where is these donuts at?
Across the street from the LA Galaxy Stadium.
So okay, so look,
it's off over right next to the KFC. In that
right
same little parking lot.
Yep, and there's some soul food restaurant be cranking over there right next door.
R&R's.
Yep. So do you obviously you raise your kids to be vegan as well, or you let them do their own thing?
My oldest is from my first marriage and he's adopted. I let him choose. And he just asked me why I don't eat it. Cause he, you know, for a kid, like one day he's like, why don't you eat chicken, Pop? And I was like, cause you know, he's like, no, it's different. That's the animal. What we eat is the food. That's two different things. I was like, no, bro, it's the same thing. They just, you know, I'm not telling you you shouldn't eat chicken, but this is how they do it. He's like, the animal? We eat the animal? I'm good. And that was it.
Yeah.
You know, but he still has moments. You know, his mama was cooking some Rice Krispie treats and he threw a tantrum because she cooked it with, you know, he knows that marshmallows have gelatin. My wife now educates, she's a vegan for years and a vegan chef. So she told him like marshmallows have gelatin. He said, okay. And he was just he cried. His mom put him, then she's making Rice Krispie treats and it has marshmallows. And I'm like, sometimes I was like, well, I mean, I was like, sometimes you can eat it. You don't have to feel bad. But if you want to stand your ground, this is many times in life where you're going to want to do the right thing and it's not going to be easy, bro. And this is one of the times. So I respect you either way. But I have a lot of respect for you for standing your ground and saying no to those Rice Krispie treats. But if you want to, I'm not going to judge you either. This is your, you know, sometimes you can make an exception. And you guys are celebrating, have some fucking Rice Krispie treats. Not that big a deal. But if you stick to it, this is going to serve you the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
I do have a desire to go vegan eventually in my life. I'm just not there yet, bro.
Don't rush.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just not there yet, bro.
I always tell people like you put more salad in, but the dairy and cheese, ranch and blue cheese, we really got a problem. Like, cause that milk is disgusting. If we could just get off the milk, black people would live so much longer. Get off the dairy.
Yeah.
Because people don't realize that cows aren't native to this continent. There were no cows here until the white people came in. The natives ate buffalo. That's why they're built. Buffalo, you ever see buffalo? They stampede. Cows is lazy motherfuckers. That's why the people were strong. And you see pictures of them running buffalo off cliff because they killed their enemy's food supply and hooked them on cow and beef that made them fat and sloppy. Got them hooked off out. We are smoking people. Warm brown people are smoking people. We don't drink. We don't eat vodka in the middle of the winter to get warm. They took away. They gave them alcohol and beef and said, here. And then everybody got slower and fatter and blah, blah, blah. And then it was easier. But you take away your enemy's food supply and dominate their landscape with your food supply, put it in a fucking food pyramid. Now they think you're supposed to eat like them. It's not racist. We just not supposed to eat like them. Right. Ain't no, as far as my knowledge, Africans eat fish and goat. You know what I mean? But we was living on the coast.
For you, the fish is more of a taste thing.
Taste, yeah. It tastes like it came out the water. I just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have enough. But with the mercury, the way they poison the water now is dangerous for fish. You know what I'm saying? But for us, it's not part of our natural diet to be eating no beef. And no human is supposed to drink milk. After you're an infant, you're not supposed to have milk. There's no example of that in the wild.
I agree with you. Let me ask you a question. And then we're gonna move past this vegan.
All right, move. Sorry.
Vegan, by definition, is not eating animals or living things.
Right.
Right? Am I wrong?
Or products of, yeah. So no honey.
Are plants not living?
Yeah, see? There you go. That's a good point. Plants are living and they give you oxygen.
So can you
eat it? It's not bad. It's not as bad for the planet. We have to grow more plants to feed the food that we're going to make into food. It's just a quicker cycle. You can replace. We've learned how to replace and clone chickens and all kinds of shit like that. We can create life, quote unquote, but you can take a seed and grow a new plant. You can't really grow.
So technically, am I wrong in assuming that vegans are also eating living things?
Yeah, I don't deal with that definition. Plants are living and plants are important. It's just it's a quicker cycle of life.
So what we're doing is just we're just choosing the lesser of evils.
Yes, we're choosing lesser. We are killing. People don't think plants are sentient beings or like can think for themselves. I don't know, because I got a passion fruit vine in the back that can find the sun and grow through a crack, and that shit seem intelligent to me. So. And I seen Little Shop of Horrors. That plant was pretty intelligent.
West Coast. That's all I want to know. Okay. Also, I watched a video for MURS and retrograde, right? The actual video. Who this is one part. He was talking about somebody DMing you trying to get signed. Who the fuck are you talking about? Because there was hold on, let me finish. There was a whole 4-bar section about this. Okay, you went in about you. It was a whole shit. It was. I didn't write the lyrics down because I was like, I'm just gonna ask him about it. But there was a whole like 4-bar ensemble about this human who DM'd you trying to get signed and then was acting funny.
All I say to that head is it's more than one.
Oh. Okay.
We talked about paid dues, doing paid dues, and all these festivals I've done. I did a function at the museum in LACMA for a while where we had hip hop at the museum. I've worked with a lot of rappers, man, and I had to get that off my chest because motherfuckers act like a lot of them acted like when I would call them when I got the gig at the museum. This is the LACMA, the LA County Museum of Art, bro. They tell me they brought me in because I'm the guy. They respected pay dues. We're doing something free. I was like, can they cuss? Yeah. Can they say dollar? Yeah. Freddie Gibbs got there and said, fuck police. I counted 23 times. And they loved it. This is the kind of hip hop they were bringing to the museum. They said, be authentic, just be peaceful. But when they would say a name that they saw that I put on pay dues, I would call and motherfuckers wouldn't take my call. I'm like, bro, at least take my call and tell me no. I'm not calling you for a feature, bro. I'm calling to put more money in your pocket, and I was putting money in your pocket when nobody was putting money in your pocket, and you can't pick up the motherfucking phone. And I said that's the type of shit I was holding on to for a long time. And yeah, maybe a feature would be nice, my nigga, because I gave you one. You never gave me one. You know what I mean? But it was there's all kind of rappers, but what I learned from elders and what we don't have a lot of in hip hop, because there's no one for me to learn to, because I come from the era where my homies that was gangbanging, they came from the era where they homies got big in the dope game or selling guns. Some of my homies bigger, and they didn't give they didn't put their little homies on. Nigga, you supposed to buy some E40. You supposed to buy some vending machines, open a nail salon, get some property, get out the game, and let the little homies get on. That's why we got jumped in, nigga. We didn't just get jumped in out here to be your crash test dummies. But they stopped. They stopped passing shit down. And the same thing in rap. Like, very few people put me on. So I said, when I get on, I'm putting everybody. I'm doing every feature. I'm doing that. And then my mistake was, because I didn't have nobody tell me, is I was expecting it to come back. And what you're supposed to do is expect those people to pay it forward, not pay it back to you.
Facts.
And so that line was more me getting that off and letting that go. You know, because I had that beat and Fresh sent it to me at the last minute. And he called me up, nigga, I had a dream that we had a show and you and your niggas was backstage fucking niggas up. We had to get you out the club. And so that's how I was like, all right, I'm gonna write about your dream. And then when I was writing that from that point of aggression, that was something that was left. But I know better now. Like, none of them kids owe me nothing.
What you said is so interesting, dog. Like, two things. One is what you said about not passing it back and paying it back and paying it forward. That's so true, bro, because there's so many people that you come up with and they expect that reciprocity, but it's like, you don't understand. Like, I put 4 or 5 interns in position, you know what I'm saying, to better their life. And hopefully they don't look to me to pay me back. Hopefully they put another 4 or 5, you know, people that look like us, come from our community, give them opportunity the same way you gave me opportunity. So that's important. And then also the other part of what you said is, I remember we had T-Pain on the show, and T-Pain had similar sentiments to you. Obviously it was a different level of artists and caliber of people that he was like, I've given people whole records, hit records. I've given it to him. He said some crazy shit. Like, he's never really charged anybody through his run, like for these hit records that he would give people, and nobody would pick up the phone when he called, you know, later on, or called even closer to around that time to even get anything, or just a return phone call, a DM. And it was just interesting to hear your side of the spectrum. On you say the same thing that he would say, but obviously different paths in the industry.
Yeah, I'll say that to the kids that have a heart like me or have a heart like T-Pain. It's funny because T-Pain was also one of the first rappers on Twitch with me, and we both play Overwatch, similar games, and we've been in a lot of the same rooms. So I maybe we have a similar energy. If you're a giving person, that's the gift. You know what I mean? The joy you feel helping somebody out. Trying to expect it back when you're not gonna get it back, because everybody's not built like you. Not to say that they're wrong, but they're built for something else. And you were built to feed that engine for it to go where it needed to go. And that song you gave them, or that feature you gave them, cool. Like, you know, that show you put them on, I'm gonna let it. So that was me. Just, if you listen to the whole album, like, I don't really bar up on motherfuckers, you know what I'm saying? Ever, you know, but I can. And so, like, when I bar up, I'm gonna use my things, you know, I'm gonna make you feel little, you know what I'm saying? Because and then whoever knows that and hears that is gonna know who I'm talking to. You know, like I said, I have a couple shots in there, you know what I'm saying? And I'm still a nigga, you know what I'm saying? Like, I have feelings. I'm just not gonna act on them. But when it's time to write something, I can write it.
So how'd you get hired, hold on 1 second. If you got hired to book a Coachella right now, and those same artists that you talking about right now made sense for the show, would you book them and pay them?
Oh, of course.
Wow.
Always business. You mess with somebody's money, and that's, you know, to me, that's like grounds for them to kill you. You know what I'm saying? Where I come from, you know what I'm saying? You gotta feed yourself. And I always want to do what's best for the culture and for the product, you know? And I don't never want to, if someone said, hey, there's been artists, like I work with Boost Mobile, and they will reach out for me. I'm like, I would tell them first, so it doesn't come back on me. When you book this artist, it come with 20 security guards. I don't personally like them, and it's gonna be some shit. But if that's what you want, I'm gonna go get them. I just don't want you to count it against me when shit blow up.
Right.
I will stand there, ask the questions you want me to ask to this person. I'll take the pictures with them, but I'm telling you, it's a risk to your brand. But if it's not a risk to your brand, I'm like, oh yeah, I just don't like him, but he cool. I could be cool with him for like, that's like, man, I done slapped people for $25 that I didn't know. You know, I done jumped off
allegedly.
Yeah, allegedly. Sorry. Hopefully statute of limitation. I ain't done that enough stupid in a while. So like you tell me like, hey, $2,000 or whatever, you know, you booked me for this whole campaign and I can't share this money. Man, come on. I seen too much real shit to let that happen.
Where'd you apply this discipline? Like where'd you get that from? Because, you know, obviously we come from, it's kind of, we hold on to shit. You know what I'm saying? Even with me being nice in nature, there's still certain things like I have to learn not to take a lot of shit personal. Where did you learn how to apply that discipline and not, like, you know what I'm saying, take it personal with certain people?
I mean, to be serious, because I know my temperament and get into, I didn't know my dad growing up, but getting to hear stories about my dad as I grew up, my dad was off a bit. He's no longer with us, you know what I'm saying? But my dad was like, I hear it's crazy. My dad was a crazy street dude. I didn't, you know, but seeing it in my cousins who didn't grow up around my dad too, like there's just a mean streak that I have. And when I was young, somebody crossed me and I went through the steps of, I'm going to kill this motherfucker. Being an LA kid, I had the means to. And I was like, it's not worth it. It's just like when I thought about it, if you ever held a gun in your hand and thought about like knowing where somebody's at and knowing you're going to go get them, I don't know how killers do it. I'm not a killer, but I know that if I'm not going to kill nobody over it, then why am I going to hold like that as it's done? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's how I feel like. It was a line in a movie called Black and White called Mike Tyson. Well, I'm Mike Tyson tattoo, but he said, you know, basically, if you're not ready to kill someone over something, then shut the fuck up. You know what I'm saying? Because you know, telling what that man's gonna do to you, you start arguing about silly shit. That motherfucker may be willing to do it.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm like, if I'm not willing to kill you over it, then I'm not willing to. That's that. So that's where discipline came from. So I value. I'm not gonna block my blessings to act out or to reenact. Like God gonna get you before I can. And I had to learn it a couple times at home. I was about to run up in the show and sock some rapper out at the El Rey, and my homie was like, "Look, you go in there and do that, you forever gonna be tied to these dudes.
Yeah,
they are gonna play out in a couple years. They're not gonna be around. You're still gonna be rapping. You're good. You have talent. Why tie yourself to someone you think is whack?" Yeah. And I was like, yeah. And every time someone had to hit me with some bars like that, I'm like, you're right. You're right. And I just realized too, like, it's my dad's genetics. And I don't think we understand genetics because you think you got to grow up around a motherfucker to be like them. My mom, like, you walk up the stairs like your daddy. My daddy left when I was 3. You know what I'm saying?
My mom told me some of the same shit.
And we don't understand genetics. So now I can see it. And I'm like, okay, I can feed that. Like, I guess it wasn't like to say, which wolf is going to win? The one that you feed. I can feed my negativity and my animosity, or I can feed my love and compassion. And I think I know that both are there. I just choose to feed the side that wants to be forgiven. And I don't know if fortuitous is the right. I want to blossom. I want to grow. I got things to do, bro. Yeah. You know, within the whole, you know, I scuffle with you, waste gear on y'all, like, you know, I don't look like that, but I got feel like that. Like, I got so much better shit to do than the cool, you know, like, what, you know, and I learned too, like, what's beating you up gonna do, or what's you beating me up gonna do?
I got a question before we wrap up, man. I appreciate the time you've been giving us, man. I mean, just we always appreciate the conversation. But what's your thoughts on rappers retiring? Because I have a personal feeling about it, right? I feel like it shouldn't happen. I feel like if you're gonna retire, don't make an announcement, right? Just be back out, you know, gracefully bow out and be done with it or whatever. I don't feel like there should be announcements because it feels like rappers always make their way back to the scene, right? So what are your thoughts on retirement in hip hop?
It's funny, man. I've been thinking about that a lot. I set a date for me to stop rapping. But it was always based on an A$AP Rock song I heard. It was about an artist, and then said basically in the song, they're like, "Why'd you quit?" He said, "I'm not quit, I'm finished," and I walked away. There's a difference between retiring and being finished. You know what I'm saying? You know what you set out to do and what you want to, and that's why I said it a long time ago. And I've moved the date a couple of times, but there's a date where I want to be finished. I don't.
What's that date?
Coming soon, man. I don't want to say the date out loud.
So is it based off age, or is it based off like a literal date? Like, no, it's like February 5th, 2025.
It's based on literal date and just timing of when my kids start school. I don't want anything to be more important than my children. There are people who have decided to make their career over their children. There's a famous musician that told a couple people I know, you're either a music man or a family man. You can't be both. And so at some point, and this is a very well-known musician with lots of children and success. And so I said, all right, well, and his kids are fine. You know what I'm saying? I just have been observing rappers and their kids, musicians and their kids, and other people. And I like, you know, Jack from the Loop Pack. I don't know if you guys know him. He's from a group called Loop Pack. And they were blowing up in the late 90s. We were in the same scene. Madlib was the producer, you know, and Jack took a back seat when he had a son to encourage his son's career. And now his son is Miles. And he's one of the lead actors on Blackish. How many seasons is Blackish on?
Wow.
He quit rapping to take his son to auditions and to do the things. And I was like, see what you can achieve with the support. If I can do this on my own, imagine if my son has my energy, or my sons have my energy, talent, or desire, my discipline with my support. I just gotta. So, you know, for me, I'm just being very, I was going to be secret. Like, I wanted to be like you, Chuck. I didn't like the way certain rappers did it. I wanted to just bow out and be like, I'm done. Right. Like dude who wrote Catcher in the Rye, JD Salinger. I just wanted to be like, I disappeared. I'm on social media. I'm done rapping. But then I saw, and I hate the Lakers with all my heart, my whole being. I can't stand the Lakers. So I never was a Kobe fan.
What? I never knew that.
As a player.
Wow.
But as a man, when he did the last tour, when he said, I'm retiring, and then went and played a whole season, I thought that was one of the most beautiful things ever. Because fans got to come out and see him, and they got to give him his flowers. And he didn't know what was going to happen later. And that's giving me chills even now. Like, he didn't know that was going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Right. But imagine if he had just one season, I'm not coming back next year. Damn, Kobe, I wanted to see you play. Or I wanted, you know what I mean? He didn't come back to win another championship. He came back so that the fans around the nation could see him. And then for the NBA, the Milwaukee Bucks wasn't selling no tickets at that, but they sold out that Kobe game. Every city got to benefit from that, from him doing that. And I thought that was really classy. And I think if people stick to it like sports, like I'm not quitting because I don't think I'm dope. I know I'm going to quit soon. That's why I'm on Twitch rapping for 2 hours a day, 6 days a week. Because I want to be here when I finish. Yeah. And then I'm going to be a dad. And my family has had a dry cleaners in South Central for 71 years. My mama does not need the money. I haven't been able to buy her house because she doesn't need me. Her thing was always, as long as you're good, I'm good. I never want to be the parent that you have to take care of. And as a single mother, when she was able to do that, beautiful. Now she's married, blah, blah, blah. She has grandkids. I want her to go home, but she keeps working because of the legacy of our business, not because of that. So I'm going to take over the family business. I finally stepped up, and I've ducked it and dodged it my whole life. I ainain't never going to work there. We write on Central and Adams. And as my grandfather, he just had they did a documentary on him, my cousin, and he got nominated for an Oscar. People think it's amazing. When I tell people we had the business, and I'm like, man, here I am. I'm gonna rap some more. I rap for almost 25 years. What I'm gonna do? I done been around the world. I've been to Russia. I have fans. I got meet people. I've adopted kids. I built wells for water in Africa. I own property. Like, what else can I do? It's all ego now. It's all self-serving. I have 3 boys. They're going to start Inglewood Public School, Pop Warner. I want to be at all the practices, the games. I want to be on Central Avenue where my grandfather came here with $25 and now he owns a whole block in South Central. And it's important for me to be there every day because I don't want my mom to. That's what I can give her. After all she's given me, I could be like, go sit down. Not that you need the money. And watch my kids. Pick the boys up from school. Right, you take the boys to practice. I'll run the cleaners. And I could do it not because I failed it. I would hate for it to be like I'm saying, like when I ain't getting no more shows. I want to go out. I'm not going to go. Maybe God willing, I'll go out the top of my game with a Grammy and a platinum plaque and I could leave then. I know a date and I know the album I want to create. And when I do that album and it's done, whatever happens, happens. I hope I do get a Grammy because I'm still walking away. There's no amount of money. There's no amount of features. And the only time I hopefully to go in the booth to record would be with one of my sons if they want to rap. But other than that, I'm not going in to record nothing. And I'll do shows for a little while because I want my boys to see me do what I do. but no more tours, no more 2 weeks. Dad's gone for a month and a half. None of that shit. I'm here. You know what I'm saying? I'm running a family business. And I think I want to bring honor back to that. Like there was a time where it's like your father was a blacksmith. You're the best blacksmith. You make these swords. I made these swords. You know, I want to do that. I clean your clothes, and hopefully some of my rap friends will bring their clothes. If anybody dry clean shit no more, mostly uniforms. You know what I'm saying? If you do security, come fuck with me. We clean all the MTA shit, all the sheriffs, all the gangbangers that still like they shit creased, and we got you. You know what I'm saying? You still doing starch?
Adams.
Yeah,
that's
come fuck
up,
with Bowers and Sons.
I've never heard that take before. That shit was fire.
Nah, I say, and you've kind of changed my position in how I feel about it. I still don't think there should be an announcement attached to it. Like if you have your date, you have your date. But I do understand the whole touring, like the last go round, right? And the one thing that I feel like you're getting to that point is one thing I saw Kobe say like every interview after retirement, they were like, so when are you coming back? And now he's like, I'm done. Like I'm finished. Right. And this, when we asked about the pay dues shit, obviously that part is past. Right. And you know what that looks like. So I feel like you're coming into consciousness of knowing like, okay, when this moment happens, I know I'll be finished and I'll be okay with hanging it up. I feel like a lot of rappers do it. And I think my dislike for it is because it feels like a media circus. And it's like you retire and then 2 months later or a year later or whenever that next album comes, all right, I'm coming back out of retirement because of X, Y, and Z. And, you know, I just don't like that part of it. So, but I salute you on it, bro. Like, I feel like your reasoning for it makes a lot of sense. And you know what that looks like above anybody else. You understand how you want that play out. You've already kind of like put it out there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think too, like what Head was saying was like, it's when you have like the discipline, like I was able to say like, I'm going in here, ordering a Big Mac. This is the last beef I'm gonna ever have. And it's cool. I left my mama house when I was 15. Like I'm gonna be a rapper. And you know what I mean? It's just like there's certain things, you know, and you know, I fail sometimes. First time I got married, I thought I'm getting married. I'm only gonna do it once. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know, but things that I have control over, like, and also I'm not coming from a place where a lot of rappers come from. I don't come from the ego place. That's why I'm able to book people I don't get along with. That's why I was able to start pay dues, because it's not me. Like we're talking about, like, so I'm not as entitled as a lot of rappers. You know what I mean? Like it's not me. You know, one of the best compliments I ever got was from Dave Free. And Dot had his first show at now it's One Oak, but it used to be the Key Club. And you know, everybody was there. J. Cole, Dre showed up later, and it was just like, I showed up, pulled up, parked, got out. You know, Doc called me like, can you do our song? We're gonna do She Needs Me. You know, I'm gonna try to get down. We're gonna do it. I was like, cool. He was, you know, whatever. I showed up, and then Dave looked around. He said, is this you? And he grabbed me. He's like, that's why I love you, Mercy. He was like, you just show up. And I was like, yeah, man, I'm just here to rap, bro. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm here to support
no entourage, man.
It's not my night. It's not my thing. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And because of that, also shout out to Dave and TD, because I was the first time I was able to meet Dre. I've been in this game so long, and it was like, everybody out the backstage. And you know, I don't know who it was. You know, they got the enforcers. But I've been around, and they're like, no, Merce, you good. I was like, man, if I came with a bunch of niggas, and then they let Dre in, and then Dre was right. I was standing right here by the stage. Dre walked up, was like, oh man, nice to meet you. Nice. I'm like, he looked me. I don't know if he really know who I was or just being nice, but I felt like, oh, Dre acknowledged me. Oh, you know. Yeah. And then I got to stand side of the stage where he held up Kendrick's hand. I was like, that was a moment in history. Yeah. And had I been the nigga to have a lot of niggas with me, or be back here taking pictures, if niggas didn't know my demeanor, they would have kicked me out. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But niggas know who I am and why I do things. I think they see me being genuine, and I always wanted. So that's the same way I'm a bow out. I'm not here to get your praise, or please don't retire, or this is my last album. Like, it's unselfish reason. I want to get my mom out the cleaners, and I want to get fully behind my sons, because I feel like that's how we as Black men and Black people are gonna stick it to these motherfuckers. Like, that's nice. Reparations would be great. The Black president is nice. Defunding the police, all that shit is cute. But wait till our children start kicking your ass in 20 years. They're gonna beat your motherfucking ass. We overcharging niggas for what they did to the Cold Crush. And that's why I'm doing it. That's the biggest luxury I have, is to sit back, own my own business, and raise my sons. Because they're not gonna play with y'all motherfuckers at all.
That's a bar.
God, God willing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
That's it.
Yo, man, I've thoroughly enjoyed this conversation, MURS, man. Can't wait to do it again. Can't wait to actually do it in person, man. And just thank you for always showing us love, always just being there for us throughout and through it, you know what I'm saying, throughout the years, bro. Love and Rockets Volume 2 out right now. Going to grab that, support that, and no retirement as of yet.
Yeah. And you can get the album for free at MURSraps.com, because the pandemic, you can always download it for free. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's MURS and Retrograde, the new video, but you said that, hey, y'all on your shit, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate
Much love, man.
Bro.
MURS, it's Homegrown Radio, Chuck Dizzle, DJ Head. Catch y'all next time.